Aishwarya is a fun content and social media marketer and helps businesses turn into brands on social media. Because you got to be on socials to skyrocket your sales. That is her belief. The world is moving forward and changing at a rapid pace. But for many people, it's not easy to stay updated with it. Plus, watching and reading the news is not fun either. What if the complex and boring stuff could be broken down into something simple and fun? Yep. Here is where this visual storytelling comes into play. And what Aishwarya says is, do you remember how, as a child, everything you learned was through illustrations and picture books? Well, art is something that everybody loves. And using this, how can someone grow their business and do some amazing wonders? So, this is a story about a visual storyteller, Aishwarya Dey. In today's episode, let's chat with Aishwarya Dey. In today's episode, let's chat with Aishwarya Dey. This is the Guiding Voice podcast series, TGV for a Better Future. And folks, this is your host Naveen Samala, and I'm a fellow IT professional, but very passionate learner on a mission to shape the careers and lives of millions across the globe. In every episode, we interact with industry leaders or thought leaders, academicians, coaches, and budding entrepreneurs like Aishwarya across the globe to drive some insightful conversations that will help each one of you learn some amazing stuff. Also, we share an interesting trivia or a fun fact towards the end. And folks, you'll acquire more knowledge by tuning into TGV per every minute than any other podcast in this space. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today, we are going to discuss a topic, content and visual storytelling. And we are pleased to have Aishwarya part of today's show. Aishwarya, welcome to TGV.
Hi Naveed, I'm so pumped up to be here and I'm really looking forward to share everything I have learned throughout my journey so that it helps each and everyone who is listening to this.
Awesome. And I was super impressed when I was going through your Twitter profile and I happened
Means
to
a lot.
check. I also happened to check onto your LinkedIn profile and the
Yeah.
amazing memes that you have created, right? They are so
Comic memes,
eye-catchy.
yeah.
Yeah, those are so eye-catchy. And I thought, let me do an episode with Aishwarya. And thank you for being here. All right.
I'm really grateful.
All right. So, Aishwarya, what are three things that you have learned in life so far?
Okay, so the three things I would start with. The first thing is that we should never, like, there's no point in cribbing. If you want something, you have to work for it. And even if you're working for it and if it's still not working, you have to understand is that there is something you are doing wrong and you have to troubleshoot and improvise. Secondly, I will say that don't underestimate your potential. We tend to undervalue ourselves a lot, the skills we have. But to be honest, we don't even know how what changes our skills can bring to the everything around us. And thirdly, I would say is that slow progress is also progress. We keep running behind perfection all the time. We don't even we always keep seeing the big picture, right? We don't celebrate our small wins, but those small things that we achieve really adds up and brings a huge change in our life. That's all.
Awesome. I love this statement. Slow progress is still progress. Yeah, many people fail to take that first step, and also they look for
Yes.
perfection. Because if you
Yep.
look for perfection and all, it is okay to be perfect, but we waste a lot of time in that process,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there is a scope for procrastination as well, right? Yeah, I think fair
Yeah. And
point.
people are like that. They don't even start unless and until they feel like they know a lot. So they keep staying behind.
Agreed. All right. Now, see, I was going through your LinkedIn profile, as I said earlier, and I came across this quote. You say, people love your brand when you make them feel connected. So, can you share
Yes.
with your experience out of helping various businesses how to connect people to the brand?
So it's like when you want to grow your business online. The thing is that when you want to build a brand online, you have to make people relate to what your vision stands for. You have to build a community, and that's when people connect to you and build a trust. That's how you build a trust among people. And here's where storytelling plays a very big role. Like when you tell stories, as a brand, people relate to your story. They feel like they are standing in your shoes, and that's how they connect to you emotionally. As and when people connect to you emotionally, they fall in love with your brand, and that's how it helps your business to grow.
Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting stuff. Now let's talk about this visual storytelling. What is visual storytelling all about?
Okay, so visual storytelling is simply just conveying a message through visual media like graphics, videos, and anything. Like we always prefer studying and learning new stuff through videos, right? Over textbooks. Like we go to YouTube videos and learn new things rather than study our textbooks and all. Even in colleges, even when we were kids, we used to learn new things through picture books. So what the thing is that this visual storytelling is so powerful even to build brands and businesses if used properly. And the world is changing so rapidly, people often feel it really hard to understand things over just text. So through visual storytelling, things get really easier and people usually learn faster with more interest. So yeah, after like working through with several brands, what I have understood is that visual storytelling is one of the most like powerful content format that helps connecting people to your brand.
It's awesome. I think you have garnered a lot of experience in the last few years, and you started too early. It's so inspiring to see that. And let's talk about who was your inspiration on this one, and what motivated you to get into this visual storytelling, and how did it all start?
Okay, so like I have been drawing traditionally through a long time, to be honest now, but I never knew like about the digital world and the digital illustrations and visual storytelling. It happened when I actually started diving into the content marketing world, when I got to know that what the visual storytelling has like how powerful the visual storytelling is. Then on Instagram, there's this illustrator Alicia Souza. She is really very inspiring, and she really inspired me a lot to start on my own as well. So like her content, it's amazing. Like people really connect to her content, the way she portrays everything through her illustrations and visual storytelling. Like yeah, it's amazing. She's definitely doing amazing, and she's inspiring a lot of us.
Awesome. Now, see, I see that it is easy for somebody to consume this content, okay, which is depicted through visual storytelling. Okay, but as a creator, what are the challenges in creating this visual storytelling?
Okay, so like as I told, like things are getting complex, right? It also is complex for me. So it gets really hard, and it really takes a lot of time to come up with some graphic ideas that will make people understand this concept easier. So that is one challenge I face.
Oh, I see. Right. That makes sense. And now let's talk about your tips. Like, what are some of the tips that you like to share for the content creators to tell their story effectively and make it appealing?
Okay, so the number one and the most important tip I would say is that to focus on the problems their audience is having and provide a solution to that in an easier way. This is the most important and the only thing I would say that is needed for any content creator out there.
Mhm. So you wanted them to focus on the audience's problem. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
Great. So Aishwarya, this has been fantastic conversation so far, and let's spice up the episode. I'm going to kick off a quick rapid fire round if you're okay.
Definitely.
All right. So let me shoot the first bullet. Aishwarya, if you are given a chance to time travel, would you travel to past or future?
Future, definitely. I would like to see which crypto coins should I invest in.
Great. Now comes an interesting question. Which celebrity would you like to meet if given a chance?
Alicia Souza, definitely. She is very inspiring. So I would
I,
love to meet her.
awesome. I wish you get a chance and or opportunity to meet her someday. Okay. Now here comes a very interesting question. Tell me which animal or object would you relate yourself with?
A bird, maybe because I love traveling. So yeah, a bird.
I see. You can travel for free by being a bird.
Yes.
All right. Now, tell me about the most funniest moment in your life so far.
Okay, so actually there has been many, and the thing is that I laugh a lot. Okay, so one day I was just laughing, and I actually fell off laughing on the ground, and I still kept laughing. So that was like a real raffle in real time, real life, I would say.
Interesting. All right. So let me fire the last bullet out of the rapid fire. So, given a
Yeah.
chance, what electronic gadget would you like to see or invent yourself?
Okay. So something that would push people to do better, even if people don't have the motivation to. Yeah.
Quite interesting. I think somebody has to pick this as a startup idea. As I always get some interesting answers as part of this question, and I'm giving this back to the startup eco.
Actually, yeah, like we keep waiting for motivation to hit us, right? And the days when we are not motivated, we just stop working, we don't do anything. So, something that would be of really great help.
Conquer with you, plus one. All right. So, yeah, great rapid fire, Aishwarya. Let me flip back to the mainstream and ask you one final question for today's conversation. Okay.
Sure.
So, what will be your one piece of advice to those planning to build their brands?
Okay. So, I would say is that anyone who would want to build their brand online should focus mainly on providing value and build connections. This is the most important thing when you want to grow online rather than focusing on getting leads and followers from the very first day itself. Because whenever I talk to businesses and brands and I talk about what do you want, what is your goal through growing online, they just speak about they want followers, but that doesn't work that way, right? Unless and until you provide value on the first place. So I would say that providing value should be the most important thing you should focus on.
Yeah, I understand. Like we need to add value to the customers in
Definitely.
terms of
Yes.
whatever we are building, right? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yes.
All right. So I think this has been a fabulous conversation, and I loved every bit of it. Right. So thank you so much, Aishwarya, for being part of TGV's journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe.
Thank you, Naveen, for calling me and inviting me here. I'm really, really like it's a new experience for me, and I love talking about all this.
Awesome. And it was real pleasure to chat with a youngster like you and get draw some inspiration. And you have a bright future. We are going to explore some collaboration opportunities as well.
Definitely, definitely. Looking forward.
Awesome. All right, folks. So before we move into the trivia section, here is a small request to you. In case if you haven't subscribed to us, please subscribe from the app where you have tuned in from so that you'll be notified of all the future episodes. Also, please share about TGV with at least three of your friends or colleagues who can benefit from all the conversations so that they can learn new stuff like you and we will gain some new subscribers. All right. So today we spoke about this visual storytelling, and Aishwarya had shared her own experience in terms of helping brands scale up using this visual storytelling and all. So I would like to hear from you in terms of what kind of amazing visual storytelling that you have come across and how it has helped your brand or somebody else's brand. Okay, so that we'll get a different perspective and learn from you as well. So look forward to see your comments either on social media or in case if you're watching it on YouTube, please feel free to comment here. Now, let's move on to the trivia section of today's episode. Today's trivia is about Greek mythology. And my question is, who was the first woman on earth according to Greek mythology? I know you're thinking, but let me tell you, Pandora was the first woman on earth as per Greek mythology. That's all for today. And thank you so much for tuning in. This is Naveen. I'm just a fellow professional and a learner on a mission to make a difference in the lives of millions across the globe. Until next time, bye bye.